Hello, Munsters! I have a new Mystery Science Theater review, and it's another one of the single discs that Rhino released before they started to put the box sets out more frequently. This is the single disc of Eegah. It's a Season 5 episode. It was Episode 6 of Season 5. And just consulting my Mystery Science Theater 3000 Amazing Colossal Guide, which is a great source for information, by the way. And this episode is a Joel episode. It features a film called Eegah, and it's definitely one of those titles you gotta like hear pronounced out loud before you know how the fuck to even try and pronounce it. Often it's titled with an exclamation point. It stars Richard Keel as the title character, a caveman who has lived up until the present times because he drinks sulfur water or something like that. And it also stars B-movie actor Arch Hall Jr., which was sort of a prodigy of his father, who was kind of a B-movie director too. Marilyn Manning and William Walters, who I think is also the director of the film, if I'm not mistaken. So, where do we start? How about the movie itself? The movie itself is really dumb, and I'm not really sure what to make of this film. It's, like I said, it's about a couple of teenagers, Roxy, and God, what's Arch Hall Jr.'s character name? I don't even remember. Well, let's just call him Arch Hall Jr. Anyway, they're dating, and he is a gas station attendant who apparently has a Corvette, and they are going to meet out at the beach or something like that, but driving on the way to the beach through the desert, she encounters Eegah, who is a caveman, and he's still alive, so, you know, it scares the hell out of her, and then she faints for the first time in the film. And then it starts this kind of search, because her dad is an archaeologist who is very, very not in the Indiana Jones ilk. Let's just say that. Well, they investigate, and Dad and Roxy find Eegah and get trapped in his cave with him. And there's like an untold amount of time where Dad and Roxy try in very wacky ways to prevent Eegah from raping the shit out of Roxy. It always makes for good comedy. I don't understand what this film is supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to be a science fiction film, a horror film, a comedy. I don't know. The tone is kind of all over the place with this movie. Anyway, Roxy and Dad escape from the cave, and Arch Hall Jr. finds them, and they escape. And then Eegah finds, I don't know how he finds, I guess he has her scent, and he finds her in the city, and he interrupts a party, and gets shot to death. The end. That's the film, and there's some kind of last line about the giants quoted in the Bible or something like that to give it some kind of, I don't know what, I don't even know what the fuck the line is supposed to do. And here's the thing, it's hilarious. This is one of the better episodes, especially of Season 5. Season 5 was fucking solid. What a great year Mystery Science Theater Season 5 was. And the writing was, I mean, this was part of the time where they had just got totally comfortable and in their own skin, and they were doing some really wonderful work. The episode starts with a joke about Crow getting frozen and to absolute zero, and then he crumbles. This is one of the many jokes that they used to do, like, they're robots, they can take any kind of punishment, so let's destroy the shit out of them all the time. There is a few wonderful host segments. There's a scene where Joel is inspired by the wonderful looking gas station and how full serviced it was, and he starts talking about how when things went self-serve, when gas stations went self-serve in America, that's when hell started to bubble up, and it made Crow and Tom like ask him, what are you talking about? I mean, there's so many bigger, huge problems. And he goes, that's exactly right. Those are all big things. Hell really does its work in the little small ways, and it's an interesting conversation. I miss the Joel days, in that he would have these odd philosophical questions, and he would have these little discussions with the robots, and they talk about how all these stupid, awful, nagging pop culture grievances that just kind of egg them on, and Joel gives Crow an example of what he's really talking about. He goes, well, what do you think about Adolf Hitler? And Crow goes, well, I hate him, naturally. And he goes, okay, what do you think about the band Styx? And he goes, well, they had one or two. Oh my God, you're right! And wonderful stuff. Wonderful writing in that. Also, there's a lot of jokes about Archibald Jr.'s unattractiveness in this episode. It's hilarious, although sometimes you do feel sorry for the guy. The best segment concerning this, actually, is when Crow and Tom traps Joel into this contraption, and they are going to surgically alter him to look like Archibald Jr. And boy, is it funny. Man, is it mean-spirited. It's one of those kind of like bits where it's like it's cute and funny, but boy, is that really biting. And it's just terrific. There's like no real slow moments in this episode. It's one of those good kind of goofy movies that gives the guys a whole bunch of stuff to work with. So the riffing in this is top notch, and the movie is so goofy. It's really entertaining. I mean, probably the most famous thing about this episode is the bad looping. And for those of you who don't know what looping is, it's a technique that's done in case the audio from the actors on the set didn't quite record well, or maybe they wanted to re-record the line a little bit better, or some other kind of thing that happens a lot. The looping is very sloppy in this movie. There's one scene where a cop starts the car, but that he's in, and it's very visible both his hands are on the steering wheel. And then, of course, there is Watch Out for Snakes, where they, Roxy, her dad, and Archibald Jr. are looking for Eegah's footprints in the desert sand. And they're at the side of the road, and then they maybe see something a little further back. So they go and they walk, and no one is speaking on camera, but you hear Dad go, "Watch out for snakes," and also you hear Roxy go, "Ugh," but neither of them are speaking. It's hilarious how sloppy it's done. And it's just, it lends itself very well to humor, and it's a running joke that started with this episode. They would often do that in a lot of episodes when there'd be an awkward moment where maybe somebody would be the scene would be fading out, or somebody would be walking and not talking, then they would say, "Watch out for snakes." Matter of fact, there is an Office episode, I don't remember which one, that does a suspicious line that sounds like it's a tribute to this moment. Now this episode is also, it has it has the uncut version of Eegah, so you can watch it if you want to, and it has the deleted scenes. Matter of fact, you could skip and watch the deleted scenes. This is the only one they did this with. They had a animated crow that would pop up in the corners when the cut scenes would come up, like in the film that they would go over. So you could actually go and click on Crow's head, and it would take you to the uncut scene. Now there would be no riffing on that because it wasn't included in the episode. But if you want to watch, the scenes they left out, you totally could. Yeah, so that's kind of it. That's Eegah. I don't know if the episode is still available on Netflix or Amazon. I hope so. I'm not sure. A lot of these episodes are going out of print. So if you can find this somewhere, you definitely should track this down. This is 5 RAM chips. It's easily maybe one of the top 10, top 15 best episodes. So I think that's it. So, and till next time.
Push the button,